as safeguarding and revitalizing the river's catchment area, managing the influx of waste into the river, encompassing solid waste, sewage, and industrial and institutional waste. A stern advisory has been issued to those constructing structures, particularly multi-story buildings, emphasizing the necessity of proper sewage facilities to be in place.
Before we started cleaning this river, we had people who are living close to this river, especially hotels like Mbiski and also a hotel in Chiromo here. They had a lot of challenges. There was a very bad smell to an extent that some of their clients were almost exiting. They were checking out because the environment was very, very, very unbearable in terms of the bad smell which was coming from this river. But we are happy today, as we stand here, that smell has disappeared because of this progressive cleaning. We are leading the cleaning of this river, which is close to 100 kilometers. But the main two rivers, which is 40 kilometers, which really supply water downstream to Twake, is the work has started. And today we have inspected the progress, and the progress so far is very commending because already we have a team here led by our contractor, which we gave contract to clean this.
Supposed to have what we call pre-treatment facilities. Before they release water to the river, they are supposed to have what we call pre-treatment facilities, and the water which goes to the river must be clean.
Now, parents and education stakeholders across different counties have requested that the government arrange meetings to provide them with more insights into the competency-based curriculum. Likewise, the Association of Private Schools has urged the government to exempt technology tools, especially those essential for implementing the curriculum, from taxes.
Parents don't know what is really happening with the CBC. Kindly let it be known, let us have forums that parents will know what is happening.
Ningeomba Wizara ya Elimu isaidie sisi kama wazazi wa private school kama venye inasaidia wazazi wa public school, juu pia maisha imekuwa ngumu sana.
Junior school, grade 7, this is where our students are supposed to select subjects that are within what they love best. Maybe we can bring it earlier, like in grade 6, so that our learners will have more of what they can do.
Zuri elimu ambayo serikali inaleta na mambo ya kiroho siweze kwenda sambamba, ndio yawe yana msaada na ndio mtu aweze kukaa na kuishi kwa njia inayostahili.
The government, that is our recommendation, be able to review the duties and the tax of importing some of these materials so that they can be able to be brought in the country in a cheaper way, an affordable way, and many institutions, both public and private, will be able to have.
Now, the anticipated admission of over 42,000 applicants to the Kenya Medical Training College for the September 2023 intake might be in jeopardy. The process used by the Kenya Universities and Colleges Central Placement Service for placement has been deemed unlawful by the Parliamentary Health Committee. Consequently, the Kenya Medical Training College is now responsible for re-advertising and accepting students aligning with its core institutional role.
Of the decision that since the process is flawed, KMTC should be able to re-advertise and admit students.
Is that the best decision for the Kenyan child? Kenyans who are waiting to go into college in the next 2 weeks.
Criteria that was used by COOPS or that is going to be used by COOPS moving forward has been discussed by KMTC, developed by KMTC, and given to COOPS.
But on the matter at hand, what was the AG's advice, including on the presidential directive?
The letter indicated that it is not worthy, that the decision of the court was not appealed against, nor the orders stayed. Therefore, the orders issued by the court are still binding on the parties.
My appeal would be that the students that have already come through COOPS be subjected to the second analysis by KMTC.
It is the board of KMTC that is mandated by law to do the admission.
Equally, we are looking at the legislation in terms of KMTC, and we shall be providing what we think should be the amendments that we should bring.
Now, upgrades at the KICC, the chosen site for this year's Africa Climate Summit, are well underway and are presently 85% complete. The final touches are set to be concluded within the next week, ensuring readiness for the summit, which is slated to occur from the 4th to the 8th of September. Anticipation is high as more than 2,500 attendees, including 13 heads of state, are projected to participate in the event, serving as a significant prelude to the upcoming COP28 summit scheduled for December in the United Arab Emirates.
At this point, I'm glad to report that we are on course to be able to hand over this facility to the Ministry of Environment by the 20th of this month, which will be in time as per the timeline.
As of this morning, we have had more than 12,500 delegates from 130 countries across the world accredited to attend the summit, and also the Africa Climate Week, which will be happening concurrently with the summit. We have a number of confirmed heads of state, totaling to about 13 so far. And we are also expecting and have received many high-level dignitaries and heads of international organizations. A whole process of engagement, and specifically for the youth, we are in constant discussions. We are supporting them within the summit to do a pre-summit event, which will run from the 1st to the 3rd of September. And the Nairobi Declaration, together with the commitments that will be made here in Nairobi, will then be progressed to the UN General Assembly in September, and thereafter to the COP28 later.
Pastor Paul Mackenzie, who is suspected to be a leader of a religious cult, along with 17 others, will remain in custody as investigations continue, according to a ruling by Shanzu Court on Thursday, August 10, 2023. The court's decision entails that the suspects will be detained for an additional period of up to 39 days, extending from August 2nd. The Director of Public Prosecution had requested the extension to allow for investigations into 3 separate matters. The prosecutor emphasized that the identities of the exhumed bodies remained unconfirmed and that DNA analysis was required for proper identification to take place.
Custodial orders is allowed to the extent that the 1st to 17th respondents in 77 of 2023, all the respondents in 101 of 2023, with the exception of the 7th respondent who is since deceased, and the respondent in 130 of 2023 shall be remanded in custody for a further period not exceeding 47 days from 2nd August 2023. Officers in charge of Shimolatewa, Kilifi, and Malindi GK prisons are hereby ordered to grant access to the investigators herein at the said facilities for purposes of conducting further interviews and recording statements.
If the police are using the prison officers to frustrate me from seeing my client, interview my client in private, then I will also interfere with the investigations. In that go on record.
Ni kama upepo. Upepo usikia unavuma, lakini ujue watoka wapi waende wapi. Sasa na waulizeni, kuna mtu akafukuza upepo akaushika.
Right now, Quisero lawmaker Christopher Seka has threatened to drop some students from the CDF scholarship program following cases of indiscipline and early pregnancies. Speaking in Quisero Girls in his constituency, the Member of Parliament said the move was reached as some students have shown indiscipline cases with no intention to reform and some girls getting pregnant. Aseka has vowed to continue supporting more students from poor background to achieve their goals, however, asking them to focus on their education and divert from things that can interfere with their studies. The statement was backed by Justice Agre Muchelule, and Kusero, Assistant Commissioner, who asked the students to focus on education.
We've been able to discontinue some of you Unfortunately, because of indiscipline, and I still say, and I've directed your principals, that any scholar on full scholarship from the same who is indisciplined in himself or herself should be removed from this program. I'm sorry to report we've removed some of you from this program, and we'll do so if we sense and we are convinced that you are not able to change. We've lost some girls due to early pregnancies. And my girls, let me tell you one thing. 100 shillings cannot solve your problems. Some of you, you are lured into these relationships because of 100 bob. Then you suffer the entire life. Once we realize that you are pregnant and you are a student on this program, we will automatically terminate you. We have infrastructural challenges in our schools, yes, that we are addressing to make sure that when you are at school, you have a conducive learning environment. And if you look around, we are trying to improve the infrastructures, and especially in these schools. What we are doing here at Huisero Girls, we are doing it. At Malindi Girls, we are doing it. We are doing a multi-purpose hall at Muhila Boys, just to create a conducive environment for you. So it's a challenge that we are confronting, and I want to assure you that very soon will be done.
Right, now the women in the pastoral community of Samburu County have undergone preparation and empowerment to actively participate in upcoming political elections and to overcome any fear of men. During an empowerment event by the OPIA party in Samburu, women were urged to involve themselves in various political roles, including chief, governor, senator, and member of parliament, rather than solely relying on the women's representative position. The party also introduced the OPIA party membership and the Samburu Women's League Charter, extending this initiative to all 47 counties across the nation to empower women. Gabriela Lorera, the leader of the National Youth OPIA Party, stated that the purpose of their presence in Samburu was to empower women from diverse ethnic backgrounds to take on leadership roles. She emphasized the importance of women's participation in decision-making processes and encouraged those who are not successful in previous elections to strategize for future electoral opportunities.
Na the main aim ni kuambia wamama wetu wa indigenous people from Samburu community, Turkana community, Kikuyu community na community yote yenye inaishi hapa, waamke wasimame, waache mambo na kutegemea kuachia viti ya uongozi kwa wanaume peke yake. Kama OPIA party tumeweka wamama kipaumbele, youth na watu wanaishi na ulemavu, na leo tuko Samburu County mambo na wamama waamke wachukue hii space. Na uongozi inamaanisha sio kiti ya MTA peke yake na women rep. Tunaona wamama wote wanaenda kwa MTA na women rep. Tunataka 2027 pia wamama waamke wasimame kiti ya governor, wasimame kiti ya senator, hata president itoke Samburu County inawezekana.
Babu sikuwa na wafuasi katika hii party, lakini ninafurahia sana siku ya leo. Ninafurahi kwa sababu wamepati yangu kupitia mwenyekiti ametumana mapema, na ile kitu ninaomba katika watu wa Marara wajiunge katika hii party. Hii party ni ya watu ya ukame, ni ya watu wale wako katika desert area kutoka Garissa, Moyale, kwenda kutembea katika mahali kuna ukame. Kwa hivyo hii party ninajua kwamba ni party ambayo imejitolea kutembea katika kaunti zote 47, na vile wamekuja mapema. Kama vile nilikuwa na changamoto last election, ninajua kwamba next election nitakuwa na nafasi nzuri na nitapata
Now, Deborah Chipogisio, a KCP candidate from St. Paul Caron Boarding and Primary School in Kita Rengan Village, Nakuyen Sublocation, Kacheliba, West Pokot County, is currently battling a severe heart condition that has caused her immense distress over the past 2 years. Now, Belinda Williams, our reporter, shares the story of Deborah's struggle as she seeks medical treatment, shedding light on her determined efforts to overcome this challenging situation.
13-year-old Deborah Chepogisio, under her grandmother's care, was forced to stay away from school since the beginning of this year, in spite of her being a KCP candidate. Her illness is said to have started as chest problems, and after receiving treatment at a health center, the problem persisted.
Ilianza kuuma kama kifua. Sasa nilikuwa naendea shule day. Nikifika shule nilikuwa nachoka sana. Sasa hatuko najua ni nini. Mzee wangu alinipeleka hospitali na wakapima. Walikuwa nadhani kifua, wakanidungia dawa ya pneumonia. Mpaka 2022 ndo wakapima sasa wakajua kumbe ni.
Expressing hopelessness, Deborah is now calling on West Pokot Governor Simon Kachapin and other well-wishers to help her raise her 2 million medical bill and lead a normal life just like her peers.
Tushinda sasa tunafanyaje? Ndio tunaomba sana msaada, mtusaidie. Hata kwa shule sikusoma tamu na tamzi na niko class 8. Sijui nitafanya nini, mnisaidie. Kanda barabara hii shamba kidogo ya kubwa. Sisi hatuna shamba, gogo ndo ananishughulikia kila kitu.
Deborah's grandmother, who's been left taking care of her grandchildren after Deborah's father sank into drunkenness, is pleading for help to restore smile on their face.
Mimi akachenga tu yeye akasema mimi nashukuru kwa sababu kama mwiko mtu unachengea mimi hata watu hii kijiji hii yote najua mimi iko peke yangu. Na mimi sina yochote basi na hii mtoto. Na kama baba yake hakuna hapa, hakuna baba yake hata hakuna hata kiona yeye, hakuna kitu unatoa. Baba yake tu ni baba yake. Hata saa hii kimwambie kipigia simu bali yuko sijui Uganda, Jakarta wapi.
St. Paul Caron Boarding and Primary School head teacher Dina Lonyangapoy says the girl needs urgent need as Deborah has a promising future and it's devastating to see her almost giving up.
I wish to seek help, especially to any donor, any well-wisher that can help the girl be in school, get well, because the child really cries when she's in school, and also the crying has affected the other learners. So I am appealing to anyone that can help Deborah. I know we normally say that when we are together we can solve problems.
Topoyowo Affinity Youth Organization Treasurer Joseph Sarich, an organization that advocates for the rights of young people in the area, has called on the area MP Titus Loti to move with speed and rescue the girl, noting that the only way to empower Pokot community is through education.
Amekuwa ameshughulika sana kwa huyu mtoto na wale watoto wake, kwa sababu unapata zingine kama mwaka jana kuna watoto walifanya form 4 wasichana wawili na walipita vizuri, lakini kwa sababu ile uwezo pia ya kwamba hawana pesa ya kupeleka hao university, ilibidi hao watoto wako sasa nyumbani, na huyu mwingine tena hako hapa kwa shida ya ugonjwa. So unapata ya kwamba kuna changamoto nyingi sana kwa hii familia.
Reporting for EBN, my name is Belinda William.
Right, and now welcome to the EBN Sports, where the Premier League football begins today with the uninteresting match between last season's Premier League champion Manchester City and the recently promoted championship winners Burnley. Burnley, who are coached by former Man City captain Vincent Kompany, will hope to put a competitive front against Man City tonight. Arsenal, who had a good run last season, will begin their title quest as they host Nottingham Forest, while Sunday's big clash will be Chelsea hosting Liverpool at the Stamford Bridge. The final curtain call of the weekend will be Wolves travelling to Old Trafford to play against Manchester United. Right, how delightful this Friday night. Finally, the Premier League is back. I know it has been a long wait, and finally we get to kick off this wonderful campaign with that entertaining football match. Now, that is all for now from the news desk. Thank you very much for making time to join us this afternoon. For now, I want to take you back to Siaya County, where there is the interdenominational Requiem Mass taking place with the Azimio leaders in attendance. This is the developing news, and I will leave you with that.
Mr. Kome, the people lying in those coffins are just not those people. What you see in those coffins are dreams of young children who've lost their parents. What you see in those coffins are hopes of young widows who've lost their husbands. What you see in those coffins are dreams of mothers who own nothing in this world except the children that they sired. And Mr. Kome, Mr. Kome, okom kosoki kom. Okom kosoki kokom. Mr. Kome, you once said you are being pursued because you are a man from Meru. I want to tell you that in Luo land, we respect and value our dead. We would never hire dead people for other purposes to pretend, because we value the dead and we love the dead. Mr. Kome, nyokom kosoki kom. Mr. Kome, nyokom kosoki kokom. Mr. Kome, you just must resign. You must resign, Mr. Kome, because you've disrespected us as a community. You've shown that you are so insensitive. Yani Kome ni dhiro wako sok dhirwa. Toki dhiria world ongikoni, enough is enough.